There's a moment after heartbreak that hits harder than people expect. It's not the breakup, it's not the silence, it's not even the loneliness. It's the moment you imagine them moving on. Maybe you see it, maybe you hear about it, maybe you don't know for sure, you just assume. And suddenly the pain spikes all over again. People feel ashamed of this pain. They tell themselves, I don't want them back, so why does this hurt? Why do I care? What does this say about me? Let me be very clear. The pain is not about jealousy. And it's not about ownership. It's about meaning. When you imagine them moving on, your nervous system asks a brutal question. Did what we have matter at all? And that question cuts deep, because heartbreak isn't just the loss of a person. It's the threat that the story you lived inside didn't mean what you thought it meant. So when you picture them laughing, dating, building a life, or appearing fine, the mind goes, if they're okay, was I the only one hurting? That's not ego, that's grief. And grief doesn't follow logic. Here's what's really happening in that moment. Your system is trying to reconcile two realities: the depth of what you felt and the idea that they may not feel it the same way. That gap creates pain, not because you want them back, but because you want your experience to be validated. This is why people spiral here. They start replaying memories. They question timelines. They analyze behavior. They imagine conversations that never happened. Not to reconnect, but to protect the meaning of what they lived. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear, but need to. Someone moving on does not rewrite the past. It does not erase what you felt. It does not invalidate the bond from your side. And it does not mean you imagined everything. Two people can live in the same experience and walk away with very different internal narratives. That doesn't make one of them wrong. But it does mean that meaning isn't always mutual, and that's painful. Here's another important piece. Sometimes the image of them moving on is worse than reality, because the mind fills in the blanks. You imagine happiness, fulfillment, replacement, but you're not seeing truth, you're seeing projection. Your system is projecting certainty onto an unknown to reduce ambiguity. The brain prefers a painful certainty over an unanswered question. That's why this hurts so sharply. So what helps here? Not reassurance, not comparison, not telling yourself you're better off. What helps is this reframe. What they do next is not a commentary on what we had. It's a continuation of who they are. Their patterns don't stop because the relationship ended. And the way they move forward often mirrors the way they were present or absent before. That doesn't make it easier emotionally, but it grounds the pain. And grounding is what allows it to pass. If this resonates, pause for a second, like this video, subscribe, share it with someone who feels embarrassed for still hurting, because this pain is far more common than people admit. Here's the shift that starts healing this layer. Instead of asking, why does it hurt to see them move on? Ask, what part of me still needs acknowledgement? Because that's the part asking for care, not from them, from you. And when you give yourself that care without minimizing, without rushing, this particular pain softens. In part 6, we're going to talk about something closely related. Why people confuse missing someone with wanting them back, and how to tell the difference. This distinction is crucial. If you're moving through this and want grounded personal support, you can book a one-on-one session with me through the link in my bio. Or if you need to talk now, voice, video, or chat, you can reach me on Pop Call. You're not weak for feeling this. You're human. And you're still healing, even when it hurts again.